Morning. Morning, everybody. Morning. Morning. Okay. Just want to check that there actually is life out there. So my name is Brendan Tagney, and I am, among other things, the Warden of Trinity Hall. So myself and Cy Byrne here from the Accommodation Advisory Office are going to talk to you for a few minutes, and then we're going to throw it open to questions and answers. Right? So that is Trinity Hall, which is the main residence for first-year students. So first years don't get accommodation on campus unless there are special considerations at play. Right? So Trinity Hall is about 2.5 miles or 5 kilometres from here, located in the very leafy suburb of Dartry, in a very nice part of town. So we'll talk to you about transport in a second. So this building here is the original Trinity Hall, which used to be the family home of one William Martin Murphy. So that is Dublin Lockout, Dublin newspapers, Independent, all those things, right? So this is the original cohort of people who lived in Trinity Hall. So it was opened as the residence for female students in 1908, when Trinity decided to allow women to attend. And this is the original Warden, Margaret Cunningham, who recent research has revealed was an active Republican. So she's running a bit of a Republican cell out of this bastion of Victorian morality out in the suburbs of Dartry. This is Hall in 1948, and this is Hall recently, and there are now 1,000 people living out there. A bit more than that. That's us here. This is Rathmines. That's Dartry Road, Palmerston Park. We're on the Lewis, the bus, and I can cycle it in about 15. Younger people could cycle it a bit quicker than that. It's a bit uphill coming home. Right? So the best way, I think, to explain what Trinity Hall is I'm going to show you a little video, which is on the Trinity Hall website. And the best way to find the Trinity Hall website is to Google Trinity Hall Dublin, and you'll find it, and there's all sorts of useful information here. So I'll just play this. Trinity takes a holistic view towards residential life. So residential life is seen as an integral part of the university experience, as distinct from someplace where you go at the end of the day. I see my job in Trinity Hall as being fostering a sense of community between the staff, postgrads and undergraduates who live here. One of the really distinctive features about Hall is that it is a rich academic community of people living together who share common interests, and most of whom are going through a similar shared experience. Trinity Hall is designed to give people a soft landing either to the university, to the city or to Ireland. We provide a level of support when people arrive, but then as people find their own feet, we sort of refade and we let them get on with things. We're just there when we're needed. We
all had one thing in common. We were all alone over here. And so we all liked to meet up and have a beer or just enjoy ourselves.
It was easy to get to know people in Trinity Hall. It was the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I couldn't help but get to know people here. There's a very soft landing when you arrive in Trinity Hall. There's a structured weekend that's organised. It's very fun. It's organised by the Junior Common and the JCR committee, which is obviously a student committee of current residents.
Trinity Hall observed the rhythm of the academic year. On entry, the student was given a great welcome and shown around the college, and there were a lot of social events. And then as the year went on, there was more of an emphasis on study habits and a quieter life. We'd had experience with our other children of apartments and rented houses, and there can be problems. So financially, Trinity Hall is good because you pay your bill and that's it. Whereas in a lot of other situations, you have unseen expenses towards the end of the time, deposits not returned, and facility bills that crop up.
The fees weren't excessive for what you get, because you get a lot of things that are more, you get a lot of intangibles that you don't get if you go straight into an apartment or rented accommodation or whatever. You're treated as an adult. You have your own sleeping quarters, your own bathroom facilities, totally secure. You've got Wi-Fi in your room. You've got a backup management system, secure 24-hour security on the premises.
The facilities in Hall are quite good. The physical facilities are excellent. Wireless access, shops, laundry, sports facilities, bedrooms. Physical facilities are very good.
One of Ruth's friends in another apartment, she broke her ankle at one stage, or had a suspected fracture, and they rang the warden, and he, pulled out all the stops, got the fire brigade ambulance in, brought her up to St James's, I think it was, straight away. Kept the girls at the flat informed as well as to what was happening. So that kind of stuff, who's going to do that for you if you're in private accommodation?
Apart from the physical facilities, what Trinity Hall has to offer over regular private accommodation is these intangible things, which are in many ways very difficult to quantify: the friendship network, the social support, the fact that there are friendly people around who can help you, the fact that there's expertise around.
I was with another German girl, I was with two Americans and one Irish girl, and one girl from Armenia actually, so we were a pretty good mixture of different people. So we all brought our own characteristics into the apartment, and we were all, I think we were a really good group and a very good team over the while.
We were very pleased with their involvement in Trinity Hall, seeing it as part of Trinity College rather than just a place to live. And we were very pleased with the financial aspect. It was good value at the end of the day. And overall, our two boys at different times had a very positive experience of their time here.
There's a lot of thought put into it. It's not just a money-making exercise. In fact, I'd say, if anything, they're probably undercharging for what they're giving in terms of the holistic service that's been given. So, we never had issues with it. We didn't have to worry about it. If the only thing was, we found Ruth didn't come home that often, which was a sign she was very happy, and that speaks for itself.
So that sort of gives you a flavour of what the place is like. The physical facilities is run by the accommodation office. They look after it. There's 1,000 people live out there, so it's a very large hotel. They look after that. The JCR is a student society that organises a lot of studenty things. And then there's myself and a team of 12 assistant wardens who've got three roles. One is I do all the allocations, which I'll explain in a second. We then keep law and order in the place. So if you've got 1,000 people living together, you need a certain amount of control in the place. And then the third thing we do is, as was alluded to there, if people are experiencing difficulties ranging from homesickness to depression and suicide attempts, then we're there on hand to assist people, and we have the expertise for dealing with just about everything you could possibly imagine. Right? So that's what we do. This is the finances. This is based on last year's figures. So there are 3 different types of rooms: a twin bedroom ensuite, standard room which doesn't have with shared bathroom facilities in an older building, and then a single ensuite. And you saw shots of those in the movies. These figures are for the year. They include utilities, electricity, heating, light, and water, and that's it. Right? And then they're paid in stages over the year. And if you go to the accommodation office desk out in reception, you can get one of these little FAQ pages, which has got all the sort of the numbers on it that you need for that, right? So the important thing that people need to realise is the way the application process works. So before I do that, Hall isn't for everyone, right? So if you want to come and you want to party on down at 4 o'clock in the morning and just do your own thing, it's not the place for you. Right? Equally so, if you want to come and you want a monastic life and you don't want any noise after 10 o'clock at night and you just want to study and do nothing else, that's probably not the place for you either. Right? So what you talk about is you've got 1,000 people living together going through a shared experience. So what you're looking for is people who can contribute and who can contribute and who are flexible, right? And who will respect other people's boundaries. So what I say to students is, look, if I don't hear it or if I don't hear about it and it's not a health and safety issue, I'm generally not interested. So it's a very laissez-faire approach. But if I do hear it or if I do hear about it, then I'm not so laissez-faire. Right? So that's sort of how it works. So it needs a bit of flexibility from people. So if you want total independence, or if you're, want total quietness, then it's not the place for you. Right? You need to be able to mix. And most people find living there very pleasant, and the friendship network, etc., and all that is very good. So we're not in a position to guarantee places to everyone. Right? So the way it works is you apply after you get your offer from the CAO. Right? So once you've got your CAO number, you apply online. Right? So there's an application form that you fill out. If you go to the Accommodation Office website or go to the Trinity Hall website, you'll see the process to follow. And then, so the CAO office will come out on the Monday. Anybody who applies before Thursday of that week will be considered in the first round offer. You need to write a personal statement as to why you should get a place in Hall over somebody else. And then I read them all, and I actually do read them all. Right? And we have sort of a ranking system that takes a number of things into account in allocating places. So obviously geography is one. Right? But that said, but we also want to reflect the sort of diversity of the college population. So particularly I know we have people here from the UK. Our UK numbers are going up quite a lot. So even if you are from the UK, you're not guaranteed to get a place. Right? But then the further afield you are, the better. So, Kerry and Singapore and places like that. Right. So the application process is, it's important, that's how we do it. And then all other things being equal, we use random selection. Right? Canvassing disqualifies. So letters from TDs and various other things are put in the bin. So that's the webpage for the JCR. If you Google these, they've got a very active Facebook network, so they tend to get people integrated as soon as they got places. All that Facebook thing kicks in. So I'm going to hand you over to Sive now to talk about what happens if you don't manage to get a place in Trinity Hall, or if it's not for you, and then we'll do a Q&A thing then afterwards. Okay? I'll give you this.
Okay, hello everyone, my name is Sive. I am currently a postgrad student here, but I also did my undergraduate degree in Trinity, so this is my 5th year studying here, so I lived in halls myself in first year, but I'm also currently working with the Accommodation Advisory Service, which is a service run by the Students' Union here. So as Brendan mentioned, basically if you're not lucky to get a place in Hall, we're here to step in and offer you kind of support, guidance and assistance in finding alternative accommodation. So privately rented accommodation in Dublin, it is limited and there are a lot of people looking, not just students but also professionals, and not just Trinity students, but as we're in the city centre, we have students in a number of institutions that will be looking in the same areas of the city that we will be as well. So it is just something to bear in mind, and due to this, we would advise you that if you get information that you didn't get a room in Hall, that you would start looking for your alternative accommodation immediately, and we are here to help. So the Accommodation Advisory Service, as I said, is a Students' Union service. So we're based in the Students' Union office in House 6, which is in the front square of campus here, just inside the front gate. We have an office there that's open from August right to the end of September. This year, I should say, we actually stayed open into October, just to accommodate people who hadn't sourced their accommodation yet. We're there in the office. There's at least 2 staff members on hand at any one time. We're open Monday to Friday and Saturdays. We have a listings website, which is perhaps our main resource. So I understand that many of you might be living in, let's say, Kerry or Donegal, where it's not so easy to come up to Dublin. This listings website would be invaluable for you, and basically it's a website hosted on myhome.ie, which is one of the most popular property listings websites in the country. However, our webpage on their site is password protected, so it's only open to use by Trinity students, which limits the amount of competition for the accommodation that's listed there. So it's not like everyone who's looking for accommodation in Dublin will have access to these properties. It's just students like yourselves, so the number is significantly reduced there. So we can send out the details for that website via email to you along with other information. Our email address is accommodation@tcdsu.org. However, we would recommend that you come up to Dublin as soon as you can to start the process of searching and viewing properties. So when you come up to Dublin, we do have internet access. We have 3 computers in our office that are available to aid your search. We have phones also to arrange viewings at landlords. And then obviously our staff members on hand can give you advice. And also we've plenty of resources like maps of the city, our Living in Dublin guide here, which is a guide detailing all postcodes in Dublin that are within walking distance of Trinity and which areas of the city might be kind of more student friendly than others. We have information on transport and leases. We have a lease checklist for all the information that should be included in a lease that you can run through with your prospective landlord. We have our rent books. The SIM cards are really useful for international students. We can give you a free Irish SIM card to pop into your phone so that you're not using your international minutes to ring landlords as well. Yeah, so we have plenty of resources there. So as I said, that's our email address, accommodation@tcdsu.org. That's our Twitter handle, tcd_AAS, and we're also on Facebook. The Facebook group is really invaluable for those students who may not have friends or acquaintances who are coming to Trinity. Basically, you can put a little post about yourself on our group, your interests, what you're studying, your budget, areas of the city that you're interested in living in. And this year we had tons of people who, through that, managed to team up together. And let's say if 3 of you, shared interests, you could meet in a coffee shop, go find a 3-bedroom apartment together. And we had a lot of positive feedback with that kind of method of finding flatmates. We also have our website also has a facility to find roommates and flatmates in that way as well. Yeah, so I would advise you, if you do not get a place in hall, to email us straight away or give us a call, and we will provide you with the website details, the username and password that you'll need, and other information. And then once you come up to Dublin to start viewing properties, that you can drop into us and make use of the facilities that we have there. So I think that's, yeah.
So, any questions? Yes?
At the horse mix.
Pardon?
At the horse mix.
Mixed, yes. Right. So we have, we said we've just over 1,000 people living there. The buildings are mixed. We don't mix gender in first-year apartments. Right? So postgraduate apartments and continuing students, we would gender mix. But for first years, it's an individual apartment will be all male or all female. Yes?
In 2014, how many places are available?
Well, there's just over 1,000 places in hall, right? And the majority, the overwhelming majority of those go to first years, somewhere between 600 and 700. And then we've got a couple of other categories that live there as well.
When do you hear about when you get your place?
So you apply when you get your offer. So if you're applying to the CEO, they typically come out on a Wednesday. Sorry, if the leaving cert results in Ireland come out on Wednesday, the CEO offers will come out on Monday. So when the offers come out, when you get your TCD number on Monday, I would give until Thursday for people to apply. So as I said, it's not first come, first served. So offers come out on Monday, you apply by Thursday, and then by Monday or Tuesday, I would publish on the web a list of ID numbers of people who've been offered places. So we try to get it done as quickly as possible.
Sorry, what date was this?
The date is...
It changes it depends. It's the day, so the Leaving Cert results will come out on a Wednesday in August. Typically it's in around 15th of August, whatever Wednesday falls around that date, I think. And then your CAO offer always comes out the following Monday, and then it'll be the Thursday of that week.
So I think it's around the 19th this year, but I'm not 100% sure. Right? Electricity, light, heating, internet, TV is all included in the charge. Hot chocolate is extra. There, as you saw in the video there, all the apartments are self-contained, got a kitchen. So people have been known to cook for themselves, but the local pizza people do a tremendous trade. Pardon?
The points model when you're reading considered from home.
Your points,
Yeah.
your CEO points, like
No.
your points.
The CO points get you into college. So that the statement that you write is important, right? You know, so like the provost fortunate fellow 2 years ago who wrote that I like to be on my own, I like peace and quiet, I don't like to disturb, therefore give me a place at home. And I said, no.
What is the typical cost of transportation from Trinity Hall into Trinity?
You can pick up a bike for €100. Right? So then the Lewis is about 190, 180, something like that. The bus is about the same. Right? And you can walk it in 45 minutes. But cycling is. How did you travel?
I walked and got a bus when it was raining. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Roughly how many applicants would there be for the number of places?
So last year we turned away. See, the problem with this is that the market varies, right? So we can't predict in advance. So last year we turned away a couple of hundred people, right? But we readjust our quotas and things this year. But you have depending on where you come from, you've got a higher chance of getting a place. But it's not guaranteed to anyone. Stay here.
What kind of things would you be looking for in this document?
Evidence that you've raised the whole website, and you show some appreciation of what living with a bunch of other people is like. So if you've done something cool in your school, that would count. If there are medical disability issues and stuff, right? The way to do that is via, I got asthma or things like this. They don't really count, right? Because there are lots of people. But if you register with the College Disability Service, and then they'll forward the information to me, and so we'll definitely prioritise people who've got genuine reasons for coming, up to and including mental illness, which is a stigma that people are trying not to report. I was not positively discriminate in favour of people who need our support. So you're much better off declaring that up front with appropriate backup, and then we would look very favourably on such people because we're there to facilitate people in the transition rather than discriminating against such people.
Is there like a curfew and you have to put in a night?
Yeah, curfew is 10:30. I tuck them up in bed and make sure they got their homework done. The answer to that question would be no. Yes?
How many people share a bathroom in this second option?
In the second option, so that's over in Cunningham House, there could be about 12 on a corridor, and there would be 2 or 3 showers and 2 or 3 rooms for a group of 12 in a small kitchen. So Cunningham is a bit older, it's a 1970s build, so it's showing its age, right? But people, in many ways, it can be more camaraderie than your locked door apartment. And it's not en suite. Like, as a student said to me, I can't stay in Cunningham, it's not en suite. Well, it's my bedroom, I said, but anyway, right? So it depends what your expectations are. So you've got inflated expectations. Yes?
How many single suite rooms are available?
We've got about 600. There's about 600 single 200, it must be 700. Yeah, 600, 200, and then we've got over 200 over in coming. Yes?
The duration there, how many weeks was it?
It's from it runs from September until the end of May. That period, 36, thank you.
Do you facilitate friends who are both accepted?
Actually, no. So the twin rooms are not everybody's cup of tea. So if you apply to share a twin room and you can name somebody to share with you, that's happy days for me. Right? So I like if you have two people willing to share a twin room together, you got a very high chance of getting a place. And if you indicate flexibility that you'll take either a single or a twin or a standard, that also ups your chances a bit. Yes?
The personal statement is an application. Can that be done beforehand?
No.
It's a very short period of time for...
you can start writing it now. It's not big. You're not looking for war and peace. Right? It's you know, it's a short. It's a paragraph, 2 paragraphs. Right? And I'm looking for. And the other thing we use that information for is how to put people into apartments together. Right? So there's a certain set of heuristics we use, at how we match people up. Right? So if you tell us something about yourself that's meaningful, as distinct from just listing, I'm interested in watch TV, music, blah, blah, that's not helping us very much. So if you can reveal something about yourself, then that helps us as we do this exact science of matching people up together. Yes?
Are the halls dotted around, or are they in one
It's in one physical location out in Dartry. It's quite a small site. Right? So a couple of acres in that location out in Hall, out in Dartry.
Where is it?
It's out in Dartry. It's in Rathmines. It's about 2.5 miles from here. Yes? Yes, so we have an open day the weekend after the leaving cert results come out. There's an open day when we do open house. If people want to come out before that, just ring up Paul and we'll do what we can to facilitate you. So if you want to drop out this afternoon, somebody might show you around.
Do your leaving certs, your results and the A-levels all come out within days?
The A-levels come out typically, they're not, it varies a little bit, but we make allowances for that.
Is Trinity Hall closed?
5 kilometres.
During summer?
No, during the summer. You can stay there if you want to. Yeah, so we do have the facility for a 12-month lease if you want. Normally people leave, but if people want to stay, they can.
Excuse me, what happens in second year?
Second year, people tend to, their friendship networks.
Basically, a lot of people, most people would maybe team up with the people that they lived with in halls or with friends that they make through their class or a society that they get involved in, and typically they would go on to find privately rented accommodation in second year onwards. Sometimes when it gets to maybe fourth year, people turn back to campus and I'm going to apply for a room on campus here, but personally myself, I did first year in hall and then afterwards I've been living in privately rented accommodation since then.
There's no guarantee to maintain your place second, third or fourth year?
In hall, no.
So it's not like the UK model, so we're not in a position to offer accommodation to everyone. No, there's building plans afoot, but they're not going to solve the problem at the moment.
It would be more popular with students anyway. I feel like once you are in, let's say, second, third year, to go with the privately rented accommodation route. Yeah, I mean, the vast majority of students, practically all, I would feel, go privately rented accommodation from second year on.
Take the monastic route.
Well, it depends on the person.
Okay, listen, we better stop there. So